You know, Careless Whisper is actually a really good name for a song about farts. Oh, hey. Welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens. My name is Fred Stewart, and with me, as always, my lovely co-host.
Hi, it's me. I'm still trying to process what the fuck you just said.
That's Taylor Showland. And this is Haunts, Graves, and Omens.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going.
It's going.
I've had a very interesting day today. I want to start off the show about talking about some true crime news with you guys. A few weeks ago, we talked about the Alabama execution using nitrogen hypoxia.
Yes.
Okay, and we talked about how that was they were calling it a great success. Great success. It took them 40 minutes to die. Good news. Okay. Alabama court authorizes second nitrogen execution. Alabama has authorized the execution of a second inmate by nitrogen gas months after the state became the first to, put a person to death with the previously untested method. The Alabama Supreme Court on Thursday granted the state's attorney general's request for an execution date for Alan Eugene Miller, who, much like the guy in the last execution, survived a 2022 lethal injection attempt.
Oh.
He survived. Obviously,
God.
the state governors will set an execution date for Miller, who was convicted of killing 3 men during a 1999 workplace shooting, and they're gonna try to do it to him again. They're gonna try nitrogen hypoxia again.
Huh.
Will it go as swimmingly as last time?
Probably.
Yeah, well,
I've got to guess. It's probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Tay, you have important. This is probably the most important news for the people living in Chicago, Illinois, who lost a beloved landmark.
They did.
Right? What's the deal with that?
So, it's the rat hole.
Yes, the rat hole.
In the sidewalk.
The infamous Chicago rat hole, yes. What about it? It's perfectly fine, right?
It was removed.
No.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, people. Okay?
Yeah.
Look at this. I love my cult. This is my cult, okay? They're taking things away from us. They're taking away our Chicago rat holes. What's next? Your kids? Your guns? Your kids with guns?
Yeah. They said
I'm feeling a little Alex Jonesy right now, but they're gonna take away all the kids. They're gonna take the guns. They're gonna take the rat holes. Next thing you know, boom! All of us are gonna be grazed.
Okay. So apparently the section that housed the infamous rat hole was damaged, so they needed to replace it.
It's a lie.
And I truly think that they're lying, and they just wanted to see uproar.
This is what the government wants to do. They want to take your Chicago rat holes. Do not let them take your Chicago rat holes. I will fight tooth and nail with you to defend our goddamn rat holes. Is that understood?
I also have some local news, which I explained to you earlier.
Yes.
But,
by the way, all these come from AP News.
Yes.
Yes.
4 zebras get loose near a highway exit and gallop into a Washington community before most are corralled.
Yeah, one was actually gunned down by law enforcement because they were able to corral the 3 of them, and then one of them was reaching for a handgun that it had tucked inside of its waistband in its pants. We're not sure who actually gave the zebra pants or handgun, or how it was able to reach, because considering they don't really have opposable thumbs or hands. But it's under investigation. In reality, what happened?
Yeah, so,
yeah.
They were being transported from Washington to Montana when the driver took the I-90 exit for North Bend.
Excuse me while I just move our set into place.
Located about 30 miles southeast of Seattle. To secure the trailer, he didn't do a very good job. 4 zebras got let loose. They caught 3 of them pretty quickly.
Yes.
There was a 4th one that wasn't immediately found. But yeah, there were just 4 zebras running around North Bend for a little bit.
Fantastic.
This past week. Or, well, this was back. Yeah, no, last week. I don't know what fucking day it is.
Well, speaking of not knowing what days things are, last week I said I wanted to show a UFO video to you, and I feel like this is the best time to do it considering our topic this week. And I'm just going to quickly show our video here. Let me go ahead and get on over to our video section. Okay. So this comes from Maryland, over Ridge, Maryland. And this was in 2023. I just think this is a fascinating video. I just want to show it with everybody. But as you can see, there are some very strange lights hovering in the sky here. For the audio listeners, you can check it out on YouTube. But it's, I mean, you can see they kind of pulsate. They're in an L shape.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking bizarre. And this is a 3-minute video of these lights effectively hovering over Ridge, Maryland. And it's just fantastic UFO footage of these, these bizarre lights. It's just, and like they kind of seem to move. Could this possibly be drones? Sure.
Maybe. Probably not.
But is it in reality the government coming to take your rat hole from Chicago?
I'm so upset that they got rid of the rat hole.
They've been planning this for years.
I genuinely think that
they're gonna keep doing it.
I genuinely think that they just wanted to get rid of
they wanted
what? They wanted to plug the rat hole, okay? And I'm very upset about it.
I was hoping one of us is gonna say plug the rat hole. Hey, I'm gonna plug your rat hole. Hey, you unplugging
They plugged it.
Your rat hole's getting plugged. That's right. Listen, I'm coming out there to the neighborhood, and I'm plugging that rat hole.
Excuse me?
Plugging that rat hole. Ain't nothing you can do about me plugging the Chicago rat hole. This is the dumbest fucking podcast on the history of the planet.
It's about to get dumber. You want to get into our story?
Just kidding. The doc is dumber. Yes. So let me. Can I just say some of the things that you told me? Just because you didn't really tell me much, but can I just like give like phrases?
Sure.
So you said like 60-something years.
Yeah.
Of this event.
Yeah.
It involves aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if I understand this correctly. It involves a dude fucking aliens for 60-something years?
Yeah.
Hey, Tate, can I bring you aside real quick? Hey, what the fuck? Sorry. What is up with you in finding alien is it an abduction, I assume?
Several abductions.
Okay, what is up with you in finding just alien abduction stories where the dude just starts piping aliens?
Listen, I found the story and I was like, you know what? Oh, we'll talk about it. I was pulling my own leg. I was like,
I like how you write or like are reading these stories, getting them written out, and then we're telling them on the podcast. And it's very funny because it's like I am over here working on our next series after this one. That is going to be very intense, yeah. Right? And I'm like trying to like watch videos about it and like try to understand and everything like that. And then you're like, so this guy fucked an alien.
Alien fucking.
Is it gonna be like how what was the last one where the guy was like standing there and was like, you're so pretty? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I can't remember. Go watch the podcast. Fuck it. You'll see it. But
so yeah, this is a whole other encounter. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot to.
Yeah, dude, fucking an alien's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tay, can you ask me the infamous question?
Are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready. Let's party. Hello, Barbie. Hello, Barbie. I want to party. No.
You zoomed in on me at the worst time. So we are talking about David Huggins.
Of the Huggins family.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with the diaper brand that I was about to make a joke about. Discard.
So I don't know if you've heard of the documentary Love and Saucers.
Sorry. Documentary.
No, literally, there's a whole documentary.
Does it have a snare drum and a hi-hat before it?
No.
No? I was like, hey, I'm a sexy alien.
No,
I would sure like to meet a hot man right now.
It is a genuine documentary.
Is Jenna Jameson in that? It's a genuine documentary.
Yes.
Okay.
Called Love and Saucers.
No, I can't say that I have.
Do you know about?
Probably not.
So this man has made like 50-something paintings.
Okay.
About his encounters, and like what he has
Nothing gets
seen.
my fucking blood pumping like paintings. Okay. It's just 50 paintings of the same alien tits.
There's a whole ton of paintings out there. You can find a lot of them.
There's a lot of paintings out there. Continue. I meant
the ones
Taylor?
that this guy has made.
Okay, listen, I'm just podcasting. All right.
Yeah, I
No
know.
need to attack me. Okay, I'm just podcasting. Okay. All right.
So there are a ton of paintings of his out there that you can find online of who we will come to know as Crescent.
Oh.
But
Is she banging or what?
You can look it up.
All right, dude. David Huggins paintings.
Yeah.
When we get to the when we get to like later on,
yeah.
Maybe at the end of the podcast, I'll just put up a bunch of the paintings.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. Take it away.
All right. So, David Huggins' first encounter with the unknown begins at the age of 8 on his family's farm in Paulding County, Georgia, in 1952. So, it's not like it's well before the kind of phenomena of aliens.
Spoiler alert, alien is not not hot. Not alien, I looked it up. In fact, it's horrifying. And if you're listening on audio right now and you have a moment, I want you to look up David Huggins paintings and then just be horrified. For the video watchers, you're gonna see at the end of the podcast. What the fuck? About took you out. She is indeed not banging. Okay. It is in fact one of the. It's horrifying. So 1950s. I mean the UFO. It is.
Isn't it just right before the Summer of Saucers? Right?
It is right before the Summer of Saucers, but it's post Roswell, so it is kind of starting to happen.
But not like.
It's not like full blown like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, come on down to fucking, Dave's pancake fucking house. I don't know, Dave's Pancake House. Sure. And come get your flying saucer. It's all wacky and zany.
Yeah.
Back then, aliens used to be scary. They are still terrifying, but
it's true.
Continue.
So, his family farm was extensive and separated by entire areas of woodlands untouched by acts or development and filled with worn paths that led to some of the other farms in the nearby area. The entire area was extensively removed from traditional urban development and was rural in the purest sense of the word. David, during this time, would be a major help on his family's farm as he would mow the grass, feed the cows, carry in wood, all that kind of stuff. So when not doing this, he would search the field for arrowheads and play with his friends or in the area around his family's property. It was during one of these off days that he would have his first of many encounters So, you ready?
Dude, I keep looking up more of these paintings. The further I go down,
There's so many of them.
because I want to kind of like try to get myself in the headspace of these paintings,
Yeah.
like what's gonna happen. What the fuck?
Do you like the one with the alien and her baby?
I think I saw that one. I was more looking at the one of him sucking on the tits of an alien.
Oh, there's so many.
That one caught me off guard. Because it's like him banging this alien in the forest, him banging this alien in a ship, him sucking on the tits of an alien. And you're asking me if I saw the wholesome one. Can't say it really played in my mind that I really remember that, because I was like, that one's not that weird. It's just a painting of an alien and its mother. The other ones are like, what the fuck? And to be fair, he looks like a guy who would paint these paintings.
Are you saying he looks like a guy who would fuck aliens?
Yes.
So,
You don't know also a guy who looks like he would fuck aliens looks like? Anyway. Yes, I'm ready. I'm gonna hear him just piping. So he's 8 years old?
so his encounters first start when he is 8 years
Okay.
old. So he was playing near the base of a tree in one of the meadows on his family's property when he heard a voice say, "David, behind you."
David, behind you.
Terrifying. Wondering who had said this, as he did not recognize the voice, he turned and as he did so, he saw one of the most peculiar creatures he ever laid eyes on.
Was it a giraffe on a unicycle juggling porcupines?
No. There, standing at the outcropping of trees, was a small figure with dark orangish brown hair and glowing yellow eyes, which was coming towards him.
I like my idea more. That sounds way more fun.
Do you want to hear what David called this guy?
No. Thank you so much for joining us.
He was called the Hairy Guy.
Creative.
Mm-hmm. So at the time, he thought this furry figure was what children had called the boogeyman. His first thought was not aliens. He was like, "This is the fucking boogeyman."
I mean, to be fair, you see, if you hear like, you're just like, I don't know, you're like seeing how many millipedes you can keep in your hands without like, you know, dropping them.
Yeah.
You know, because it's the 50s and you know he's on an iPad baby.
And you live on a farm.
You live on a farm. You know.
Yeah, I got you.
He hasn't discovered the wonderful world of the World Wide Web or Vietnam yet. And it's 52. I don't think Vietnam was happening, huh? I don't know.
Not quite.
I don't know. And, you know, and you hear, "David, behind you." Not like that, but, you know, right. David, behind you. And then you turn around and there's a fucking horrific thing that's just said your name and told you to turn around, which honestly, funny bit, but it's horrifying.
Yeah.
So I could understand he's looking at it and he's like,
I'm gonna fucking die.
So here, you be the creature saying it.
David, behind you.
And he turns around and he's like, "Ah!" So that makes sense. So what happens after that?
Yeah, so David stared at the beast and noticed that as he stared, his vision changed and he could see himself as though he was seeing through the hairy guy's eyes. If that's not weird enough.
Sorry, I thought this was just insane.
Yeah.
Continue.
It's a lot. We've just started.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just continue. We gotta keep going.
So this brief second of a experience caused David to become even more scared, and not wanting to become another statistic to the assumed boogeyman's reign of terror, he ran away.
Naturally. I mean, that's probably the smartest thing you can do.
Honestly, it's better than like half of the people that we read about, where they're like, "Who's that? I think I'm gonna go over there. And it's like the most horrific creature you've ever fucking seen.
I swear, like half the people we read about they see a horrific monster and then they just go like, I'm
gonna go touch it.
And then they just don't move or they don't say anything. They're just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. So David made his way to the family barn and looked back to see if the creature was following him. And as he looked back, he just saw that the creature was returning into the woods. So he was not a statistic of the boogeyman.
No one wants to play with me. It's lonely being a creature of the woods. No one wants to play with me. Nobody wants to play with me.
So
Nobody.
later that evening, David had seemingly recovered from his initial fear and decided to return to the spot to see if the creature was still there.
Understandable.
As he approached the location, the creature came out of the trees again and once again looked at him. David did not hear a voice and did not have that weird swap of POV.
Mm-hmm.
But as he stared at the creature's seemingly self-illuminated eyes, he was once more deeply disturbed and returned home as fast as he could. So he went out. He was like, oh, he's still fucking there.
David, honey, you having fun playing outside?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything exciting happened today? You just kind of go and turn rocks like normal?
No, actually. There was this big small hairy guy, and his eyes glowed, and then when I was staring at him, we swapped point of views, and I saw myself like I was looking through his eyes, and then I ran away, and then I went back, and he was still there.
David, honey, I think your dad said to stop eating the lead paint in the shed. You got to stop doing that. I know it looks good, and it tastes better.
Chippies.
Just cue the now, and we're like, you ever want to consume 500 lead paint chips? Considered a goddamn patron. Well, you can. On the all new Bill gets abducted by aliens.
So,
David. Bill.
For the rest of the day, David did not mention his sightings to his parents or siblings, and after dinner, he went right to bed. At about midnight, David woke up and felt compelled to look out the window. As he looked out the window, he saw a large owl sitting in a tree. The owl was seemingly staring right at him, and as David looked at the owl, he noted something strange.
So, before we continue, owls are usually associated with grays.
Oh yeah?
There a lot of UFO abductees will talk about seeing an owl either as a precursor or post UFO abductions or encounters.
Yeah.
And they're more often than not seen looking through the window of said recipient of the abduction.
Huh.
Very, very common.
Weird.
Like, very common. And also, you're probably wondering, why didn't David tell his parents or his siblings about this, encounter with this strange being?
That's how you get.
And you have to remember CAFs. KAFS. Kids are fucking stupid. Now,
you also have to remember, though, this is the 50s, and if you say something like that, you're probably going to...
Yes.
I was going to say a mental institution.
He's a kid. He's 8. They're not going to send him messages. They're going to be like,
you
up.
say
They're
that.
going to be like, shut up, stupid. And they're going to be like, okay.
You say that, but...
No. Now, if he was saying that and then doing like compulsory masturbation, absolutely, that would make more sense. That'd be like, you're definitely got something going on. But, or he just keeps eating lead paint. I don't know.
As you do. So David eventually got tired of just looking at this owl, who had very large, glowing eyes. He just went back to bed. And then David decided, the next day, David would recall having a peculiar dream that filled his mind for the rest of the night. In the dream, he saw a group of tiny men had entered his room and got around his bed. He would have this dream for several nights, and also the morning after his initial sighting of the hairy guy, he just promptly forgot about him.
Calves. Kafs. Yes. But I love like the dream of like little guys surrounding his bed.
Yeah.
Of like he was like, you know, they're probably grays.
Yeah.
Probably short grays. But it's just him like, you know, him just dreaming, I'm just a little guy, I'm just out here looking at you. What are you gonna do about it, pussy? You gonna fucking come down here, bet you're not gonna come over here. Get over here. And he's like, I think I'm gonna forget about all of this. Forever. Until something horrific happens, which I assume will happen in the next minute and a half.
David's next encounter with the strange beings happened in the same year. Much like this previous encounter, it was on the most unsuspecting of days.
Tuesday.
Everyone knows you're less likely to get abducted on a Tuesday, so it was pretty unsuspecting.
You know, it's really funny. Because I'm gonna have some time to kill in the next couple days. I'm just gonna pull up random UFO encounters and look at which day of the week they happen on and see if I can find a connection. Because if it's like Fridays, casual Fridays, you know, vibes. But maybe it's on the weekends. They work weekends. Maybe they have a different like calendar than us. I don't know how shit works. Anyway,
honestly, they probably do. But
take your water.
Oh, my
That's
water.
mine.
I've been hijacked. So David had gone out to the barn to get a softball or something, and once inside the barn, he heard a strange noise coming from the other side. It was not that.
Record scratch sound effect.
He decided to go check out the noise.
I don't know what that is, but I think I'm going to go towards a really scary thing that I'm hearing, even though I saw a really scary thing that I forgot about.
Yeah. No, he went to go check out the noise, and after leaving the confines of the building, walked around to the side where the noise seemed to be coming from. Upon doing so, David saw something that he had never seen before.
A giraffe?
No.
You just... Okay.
It's not. There's no giraffes in the story.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode.
He's really upset there's no giraffes. David describes a colossal creature resembling a praying mantis.
Oh, fucking A. We're talking about mantis aliens? Oh, no. Oh, it is so much worse than I thought it was going to be about. Oh, fuck. That is, like, way worse than Grey's.
They're included.
Oh, no. Oh my God.
You didn't think that's where this was going.
This is our first H.G.O episode we've ever talked about Mantis folk, except for when I think it was our Haunts, Graves and Omens meets, I think it was a Creepy People crossover episode with Pacific Northwest Haunts and Homicides, where I talked about different types of aliens.
Maybe. Yeah.
And that might have been, I think that might have been that episode. Definitely did an episode where we talked about different types of aliens. I definitely talked about the fucking Mantis people, and I know for a fact they're fucking dangerous.
So
the story's going to be super sweet. Go on.
You didn't think that's where this was going, but
I was hoping it was going to not be that. I was like, if it's going to be about Greys, we're going to know the story. Dude's going to pipe down a Grey. But he's like, we're going to be piping down fucking Mantis people? No, dude. Doesn't he know what fucking Mantis do to queens? Queens do?
Female mantis.
Hey.
Yes. Yes, I think everyone knows what female praying mantis
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Hey.
I don't think you know what female praying mantis do to people.
Hey, do you ever think about that?
What, praying mantis?
You know what happens?
So, upon instinct at seeing such a entomological entity, he screamed.
The word you're looking for is fucking horror show?
Yeah.
Okay.
He screamed. That being either just terrified by the boy or out of some way of protecting itself, began to spray a bluish gray liquid that it sprayed onto David. It inked. The praying mantis alien inked. You're gonna make me ink.
I really want to make a joke about it, but no, dude. I can't. You're gonna make me ink. That's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
So it's a giant praying mantis.
Basically.
He sees it and he just like has
honestly a fair reaction.
a pretty fair reaction of like sheer panic, and then just like the mantis is like and just fucking hits him with some goo.
Yeah.
Damn.
So David was now in the process of running away, obviously. Well,
Sorry, I'm just getting you in frame.
no,
here.
you're good. Yeah, so he was running away and looked down at the goo-covered clothing and noticed in utter amazement that the sludge began to just kind of evaporate.
The classic disappearing ink trick. I saw that in a magic shop in Las Vegas probably like 5 or 6 years ago. Really funny bit. Sprays you with some things and it stains your shirt and you're like, you're a piece of shit, and then it disappears.
Yeah.
Classic bit.
Similar concept, except this turned into smoke. It just began evaporating. I don't think the disappearing ink in Vegas did that. I think it just...
I need a minute to think about this. Continue.
So, after this encounter, David, much like his encounter with the hairy guy, almost forgot about the... Or he also forgot about the insect almost instantaneously after it left his sight.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he just... There he goes.
He just like, I just saw
The most horrifying creature in my life.
the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I wonder if there's any pill bugs under that rock or whatever. Clothes are still smoking.
Yeah.
He's like,
I
wonder
bet
if Mom's making Salisbury steaks tonight. I hope so. I like Salisbury steaks. Kids are fucking stupid.
Yep.
Calves. So get it trending. I know kids are stupid, but I'm starting to think that this isn't just him being stupid.
Yeah.
I think that this is some sort of technology that these beings have that causes people to forget, much like most UFO abductees, alien abductees, who experience said phenomena.
Yeah.
And then they forget, and then they remember through some sort of process.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, possibly to me.
I agree.
Either that, or he's a fucking idiot. Which
I do
he
agree
makes really cool paintings, so I don't think so.
I do agree that I think probably it is him not remembering. It's not of his own volition.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So, David would have 4 other encounters with David would have 4 other encounters with beings after this encounter with the mantid in 1952. However, as with a lot of his encounters, they tend not to get mentioned outside the walls of his canvas paintings. However, the next encounter that was officially documented occurred in 1953 and was chronologically his 6th encounter. He had 5 encounters in a year.
That's too many, dude. You gotta like, you
gotta chill out, dude.
You gotta space it out a little bit. Honestly, I think so. Also, don't mind me while I'm doing this so late in the podcast, but oh fuck me! Look how fucking hot I am. I'm also gonna move Taylor so it's scrunched down.
Sorry.
Getting comfortable.
I'm just trying to get comfy. My hip kind of hurts, but it's fine.
Have you considered asking the Mantis people who spray comic ink on people to give you a hip?
No. Well, now.
Email the podcast, HGOPodcast@gmail.com.
If you can provide me a hip, I would be grateful.
Ethically. That words are hard right now. I'm so fucking tired.
Ethically sourced?
Mostly.
It's fine. My blood type is O positive. just if there's match, there's match. I'm just saying.
My blood type is something with a great personality.
So, anyways, on this occurrence, David was headed down a path to go over to his friend's house. And as he was walking behind the barn and through the field, he had a feeling he was being watched. He looked around, however, and did not see anyone at all. And then David had come to an area with several small bushes that he heard a bizarre sound reminiscent of the mooing of a cow. Kind of like that, I assume. And as he looked around, expecting to see some sort of, cow in the area, he noticed a dark gray shape rise up from behind one of the bushes.
That's not a cow.
That don't got no spots.
Not all cows have spots, Tay.
I assume that we are just... I assume he was expecting...
Don't assume. Don't assume anything.
Okay.
This Mantis people did paintings about him sucking on aliens' tits. Let's not assume a fucking thing about this guy. Alright? Won't assume anything about this story.
That's fair. Yeah.
Other than the fact of what we know. Is that he made paintings with him sucking on aliens' tits. Now...
So, anyways... so he sees this creature rise up from the bushes, and as David looks at this unfamiliar form, he sees what looks like dark black eyes, long and almond-shaped, peering at him. David, realizing that this was some sort of creature, then said to himself, "Is that a head? Are those eyes?"
Is that the new Chase Platinum card?
Is that a Ford F-150?
The all-new Ford F-150. If you're going to get abducted in the middle of, I think this is New Jersey. Where's this at?
Georgia.
Fuck it.
Same difference, I guess.
It's not. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm stupid.
So, David suddenly began to feel scared as there was nothing that he knew that he could be seeing. He could soon make out that there was also a small, a thin mouth and nose attached to the form, and that he was indeed looking at a head. So, just then, he had another sense of being watched, and this time from the opposite side, and he looked to another bush behind him, and there too was another head peering at him. Okay, so he's got an alien in front of him and behind him. So, already don't like where this is going.
Sounds like a vibe. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
I don't. Suddenly, he said then, "Why is it so bright?" As everything seemed to illuminate far beyond what it should. And after this, he fainted and curled up into a ball. So, I think we can guess what's happening. Did I blink or did the lights change?
So, wow, doing a quote of yourself.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's a classic. Taylor actually said it to me at one point. I have a list of things that Taylor said. I think I said on the doc. But one of them is, did I blink or did the lights change?
It's the same vein, honestly. Why is it so bright?
Why is it so bright? Is that a head?
Fucking
Is that
out.
And you're just asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same vibes. Same energy, honestly. So it was in this state that several small beings in blue jumpsuits approached him. Their faces were dark gray and they had the same features as the beings that had been peering at him from the bushes. Those even loosely familiar with alien abductions or alien experiences will know that these are grays, obviously. David in this state did not remember much of what happened while surrounded by these entities, but he does distinctly remember hearing 3 loud beeps, and the next thing he knew, he was standing chest deep in the weeds without any memory of what transpired before or how he got there. So how's that make
I don't know what happened to me, but I know one thing.
What?
That aliens get some real nice tits. Let me try that one again.
Your manic cam's a little offset there. There we go.
I'm also not in focus.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's fine.
You're hosting this week anyway.
It's fine. So after finding himself in this state, he saw a figure approaching him, and as it came closer, he soon realized it was his mother, with a deeply concerned expression on her face. So, when she came to him, she told him that she was worried that something might have happened to him, as he'd been gone for over an hour and his friend was still waiting for him to come over. David could not tell her what happened and did not remember anything about what had transpired over the hour.
Classic gray alien abduction story.
And this is only his 6th encounter.
And this is going to happen for 60 years?
Yep. He's got a lot going on.
When does the cool stuff start?
We'll get there. So the next recorded sighting David had was chronologically his 9th and occurred in 1954. So it kind of slowed down over the past year. He didn't have 5 sightings. He just had 2.
Huh.
3? No, 2. So yeah, and then in 1954, he had his 9th sighting. And David was standing in the backfield of his family's property, searching for arrowheads, when he felt inclined to look up into the sky, which is never a good sign.
No, not usually.
As he looked more intently, he noticed that 8 to 9 of the small gray aliens in blue jumpsuits. He watched as they dropped from the sky, and as soon as they touched the ground, began to run towards him.
Let me ask you a question, Tay.
Uh-huh.
Say this is you.
I don't even want to...
Just humor me.
Okay.
What are you doing about that?
About 8 to 9 little aliens running at me?
That is correct.
I don't even know what I would like to say that I would run away. Right. But I know myself. I'll freeze. Like, I would like to say, like, oh, I would scream and run away. That's not happening. With any sort of fear, I will freeze. And I know it. So I'm going to stand there and I'm going to freeze and get abducted by aliens, I think is what the actuality of what's going to happen.
I would channel my inner Steven Seagal and begin to shittily karate kick as many of them as I could until they overwhelmed me. Because they're like, friend, we come in peace. And then I'm just like, just fucking like, is this how humans hug? Because it really hurts. And I'm like, from the top rope. And I pick one up and I climb like on top of them and then I fucking power bomb into the other one.
Somehow you turn into Sting and you just start painting your face while you're doing it.
I'm just like, hold on. And then they all stop and then I turn around and I'm just like, they're like, what the fuck?
You just channel Ric Flair and just start screaming woo at them.
Woo! Yeah, just start killing, like just start beating the shit out of them.
You're just screaming woo the entire time. I think that would be the funniest fucking thing.
Just digging in the dirt, dude. I find a folding chair. Just start fucking just hitting them.
There's also a briefcase.
Yeah,
And a cage.
Yeah, dude, ship comes up, cage drops, dude, briefcase comes down. The aliens are all confused and terrified. And then all of a sudden, the sky grows black. There's thunder and lightning. And all of a sudden, you hear, doom. The fucking Undertaker has arrived in Georgia. Goes out and he fucking grabs an alien.
Yeah. That would be the best WWE episode I've.
Oh my god, dude! And all of a sudden, you're booyaka, booyaka, 619, and the fucking Rey Mysterio comes out of the fucking bushes. He's now in Hell in a Cell.
It's Hell in a Cell for the fucking aliens.
No, honestly, I'd probably just run.
It's not even Hell in a Cell for you. It's hell for the aliens.
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Yeah.
Smartest podcast on the internet.
It's a good bit. It's a funny bit.
If anybody's gonna write that sketch and you're in the greater Portland area, let me know. I'll come out there.
He'll be a part of it.
Oh fuck yeah.
So completely terrified of this mob of entities, he began to run towards the farmhouse. As he looked back, he could see that the entities started to become invisible, as if they did not know that David had seen them. Instead of going through his door to his room, he went around to the farmhouse near the front door, and instead of seeking sanctuary inside, he ducked and watched the now visible beings approach the house underneath the pillars that the house was raised up on. He could see their legs on the other side, and saw as the beings stopped as they seemed to have lost their quarry, and watched the entities turn and walk away from the house. So he fucking dove under his house and was watching these little fucking legs. And then they stop and they're like, where the fuck did he go?
Well, I guess
I don't know where he went.
Cleveland, I know we can't look down or crouch, so I guess he's gone.
They didn't even go in the house. They just stood outside.
Do you think we should knock? I don't know why I'm Southern, but I'm a listen. I'm the only gray alien with the Southern drawl. And I got to tell you something.
It'd be pretty implied to not know.
He would be pretty implied. I don't think. Listen, see, I guess I'm not the only alien with a Southern drawl. Hey, that's great. But yeah, no, I don't want to intrude on him. You know,
it's pretty rude. I don't think we should do that. I don't think we should just barge in. If anything, we should knock. Maybe he'll let us in. Do you think?
He'll let us in.
Do you think if we put 3 aliens in a trench coat?
Do you think if we stack 6 crawfish on top of each other and put it in a tiny trench coat, he'll believe it's a person?
I don't think so.
So David was uneasy by this, but eventually went about his day and attempted to get some sleep that night.
What?
I don't think it's of his own volition. I genuinely don't.
Yeah, no. Definitely not.
So that night, much like his first encounter, David awoke from sleep and approached the window as he stared into the darkness. He looked up at the moon and noticed a large, glowing object fly in front of the moon.
Continue.
David, confused as to just what this object could be, began to look around for some clues and examined his yard, noticed the same beings that had dropped out of the sky were staring right at him.
Yeah, we didn't leave. We just figured we'd just hang out here. That's okay.
We didn't want to be rude.
No, we didn't want to knock or nothing because we know, listen.
We know we're a little scary.
I only know how to knock one way. May I demonstrate?
Sure.
Just like that.
Not that hard.
Jesus.
It's only once, too.
See why I fix this candle. I was gonna hit that way harder, but this table is not built for that.
Yeah, you're gonna knock my thing off. If you hit it harder, so don't. Yeah, so he was terrified, obviously. But as soon as he made eye contact with him, the fear dissolved.
Classic gray alien.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So David watched as one walked up the steps to the door of his room that led to the outside and looked in complete calmness as the entity proceeded to enter his room. Following this entity were 2 other greys and 3 beings, and the 3 beings proceeded to grab David and drag him outside. They forced him to a spot where there was a craft overhead, and while still being held by the entities, he began to float up into the craft.
I saw this painting.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to put that painting up right now. That's fucking spooky, dude.
Yeah. So the UFO is a glowing oval shape, and David, as he watched, could see no windows or doors to the object, and it appeared to be just one solid object. Yet, as he floated upwards, he and the other beings managed to enter it. He found himself in a large metallic room that to David seemed eerily reminiscent of a doctor's office, and took note of the other beings that seemingly had left him alone except for one gray, which David felt was a young boy.
Oh, just like,
Just like him.
Yeah.
Hey, do you what's your name?
David?
David? My name's
I don't think I can pronounce that.
That's fucked up. Anyway.
Can I call you something else?
No, I'd prefer if you call me that. But listen, have you ever played bowling ball on Nebula 5?
No.
Can we send him back?
I don't think you understand. We don't got nothing.
No, all I do all day is I just sit outside and then I flip rocks and I find a pill bug. And then I put nail polish on and then I flip the rock back over and then I flip the rock back over and again. And I'm like, I found a pill bug, but this one's got stripes.
Great.
Anyway.
So David peered, he noticed a woman was also in the room. She was a much taller creature than the gray and had a rod or wand-like object in her hand. David looked over to the gray and asked, "Is that your mom?"
Hey, is that your mom? She got pizza rolls? I know it's not invented yet, but she got them. Got any gamers on your space iPad? You got Fortnite? I know it doesn't exist yet, but you got it. Do you?
Nah.
Do you?
We got Night Fort.
Night Fort is so fucking stupid.
Yeah. So I just like he's like, "That your mom?"
Is that your mom? Yeah. It's a valid question.
The gray said nothing, and the woman only smiled at his question.
Just like,
Yes, I am, Mother. Yes.
So, the woman stood in front of a stool with 2 more rod-shaped devices and began to soon approach David.
I don't like this part. I don't like this part at all. Genuinely.
Yeah.
Listen, here's hoping it's just a beaten stick. Is it not a beating stick?
Not really.
What do you mean, not really? Either it is or it isn't.
I suppose it could be used as one, but it's not in this case.
Is it a magic wand that gives him access to Fortnite in 1950?
No.
Okay, well, so it's not going to be good.
So they essentially restrain him, and they put the probe in his nose. So at least.
Oh my God! Thank Christ. I thought you were gonna say they put it in his fucking ass, or put it in his fucking dick hole, or his fucking eyes,
it was
or
in
something.
His nose.
Like, we're gonna shove it through your fucking eyes. I don't know. Thank God you said no.
Yeah. So Yeah, he was like trying to resist the probe in his nose, and this caused the female alien to push the device even harder into the nasal cavity. David could feel that she had inserted something inside his nose and began to cry after she removed the wand. And not like that, I assume. He then told her, "You hurt me," and the woman said, "Let me see," and began to rub his nose. And as David looked into her eyes, the feeling of pain and terror ceased. She leaned over David, and as she did this, David was partially aware that she was removing the memory of this encounter.
That's fucking cool. And also kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Of like, she's putting this, like, I assume a tracker or something into him. And he's like, she's like, let me see, come on. And just like sucking the fucking memory out of his head.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not afraid anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't remember what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, basically. Basically that was it. That's that encounter.
So let me ask a question. If he doesn't remember that, how does he remember it?
I
guess we'll get to it.
I assume
nothing.
I haven't read this story in a hot minute. It's been like
A couple weeks.
It's been more like over a month.
Okay. So that's a couple weeks.
I mean, it's been like a month and a half.
Let's not get into semantics here. Taylor, a couple weeks is a month.
A couple weeks isn't that 2 weeks?
What the fuck?
I don't
anyway,
know.
Who cares?
Anyways,
he fucking gets his memories wiped again.
So my assumption is that he has like hypnosis to remember.
I guess we'll find out.
But I don't remember. Cause I got the memory of a fucking squirrel. This was the first time David encountered this female entity, but it would not be the last. This being, who he would later call Crescent, would appear during most of his life.
You know what I'm saying?
Crescent was noticeably female. She had a very pale face, but was beautiful. She had large black eyes that sort of swoop in the corners, and then blue irises that are extremely intense, a small nose, lips, and seems to wear a black wig or have black unkempt hair. The reason for this, David felt, was that so she could look more human. She had incredibly long fingernails as opposed to an Earth woman, yet the rest of her was not too dissimilar from a typical Earth girl. David, upon this encounter, felt that Crescent was an old being with a very old soul. And in these words, David would have many further and more exotic encounters, which would change his life more than the typical abduction would.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to the zoo in her alien box. Now, interesting. So this alien.
Hello?
Just random static buzzing. It's never happened before. That's fun.
That's fine.
So the classic gray alien, pulling the memories out, putting a tracking chip or something inside of his fucking face.
Yeah.
But it's really peculiar that for the next 50 years, essentially 55 years plus, he's going to encounter the same gray. Interesting.
So, David is on the ship for a little bit longer. He encounters a man who was very tall and seemed human, with some exceptions. His eyes were bright reddish orange, and the back of his bald head was some sort of fleshy extension that kind of looked like a flesh man bun. Those are words you never thought you'd hear me say, but
That's what I should name this week's episode.
Fleshy man bun?
Fleshy man bun.
The entity approached David and seemed to be some kind of overseer, or at least have some sort of authority over the ship. He took David to a large window where David could see he was in space. He was not on Earth. None of this occurs on Earth. He was in space.
What gave it away?
The fact that he's on a spaceship.
Wait a second. This isn't Georgia. There's heads.
Fun fact, he could see Earth in the distance from the ship. The being talked to him about Earth and space travel. After this, David was returned home, even though he does not remember how or when this occurred. So, the next morning, his memories of his off-planet excursion were gone. He didn't have them anymore. However, when he woke up, he found he had a slight nosebleed. David, once these memories returned to him, would describe what the aliens did to him in the following quote. You know how we tag whales and stuff like that?
Who the fuck is we?
I assume he means humans.
Oh, just not him and his buddies?
Tagging whales.
You know how we always go out to the fields and we tag whales.
You know, the field whales.
And all
Also known as cows? Technically?
Son, you're the honest to God, one of the worst things I've ever spawned. And he's like, Dad, can we go see the field whales? It's like,
Cows?
You mean the fucking cows? Yes. So I do know what he means. Yes.
I'm still laughing at field whales. You mean cows? During the next couple of years, David would have lots and lots of encounters. He would see different crafts and things like that. I mean, he saw a fucking lot. He saw a lot. Being encounters were just as common as his UFO encounters during this time. Some of them were extremely beneficial, as the beings occasionally came to protect or save David from danger or death. One day, David was playing near the tool shed when Crescent and a little gray came and pulled him close, far away from the tool shed. David, while in the arms of Crescent, could only watch as a large black snake came slithering out from under the shed. On another occasion, David was swimming and almost drowned. As he was in the water, he saw a person while he was drowning and was staring at the figure when he heard a voice say, "Let him live." As soon as he heard this voice, he could feel something touching his toe, which was some kind of root. David reached down for it and began to pull on the root, making his way to shore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
never
like,
seen grays be so kind.
everything is very weird. It's not very,
Oh, really?
not very typical.
Everything is very weird. No shit.
I mean, it's not very typical for, like, gray encounters, though.
Something's weird here, guys. Honestly, man. Saw a praying mantis creature that shot ink at him.
You don't
and
remember.
He saw a bunch of aliens. Something's weird. I think it's something to do with those field whales.
So David had a lot of encounters just with the beings, with the UFOs. Like, he saw them all the time. There are a few times when David could remember his encounters and would attempt to tell his parents about his experiences. However, it often backfired or was treated as lies. On one occasion, he saw the tall knob-headed being outside of his window one night. The being just stood there with his glowing orange eyes. He went and told his father, and when his father went to investigate, he found nothing and came in extremely angry at the boy and said, "There's nothing out there, boy. Quit making things up."
See?
Um,
I was correct on how his father would react to all
his
this.
father then beat him for lying.
But see, I mean, it's not funny to laugh about child abuse, but there's no but. But you know what I mean? Like, I was correct that his dad was gonna beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
And be like, "Why you lying, boy?" And just kick the shit out of him. And he's like, "I'm fucking seeing shit, dude. I don't know what to tell you."
The next day, he was behind the house and he saw Crescent and went up and said, "My mommy and daddy don't believe me when I say I see you. I got a whipping." As David told the hybrid about the chastisement, the entity had a look that David could tell implied that she did not like to hear that. She then said, "Then don't tell him."
Pretty straightforward, yeah. I mean, I'm not fucking saying anything.
Crescent is out here just giving advice. Some, like, not bad advice. Like, after that, David never told his parents about his encounters. Ever again. He was like, "Fuck y'all. Y'all don't believe me. I don't want to get beat again." So he continues having encounters up until another major event in 1961 when he is 17. So he had his 21st encounter with these beings at the age of 17.
That's insane. That's a lot of encounters.
It starts when he's 8. Less than 10 years, he has 21 encounters.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of encounters, man.
It's not great.
No. Like, that's just a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, what if he's trying to put some moves on a babe, you know? It was like, hey, dude. Sorry. I was going to give you a kiss, but the aliens are calling.
The fucking what?
I'll call you later. Get out, please. Walk home.
So this is where we get to the beginning of David's relationship with the aliens. We're getting into it. So, in 1961, it was a summer day and David was walking in the woods. He was on his way to go hang out with some friends at a nearby lake. Since it was an extremely warm and muggy day, he decided to travel through the shade of the woods until he could cool off in the lake. Upon traveling some distance, he happened upon a woman reclining by a tree and instantly became frightened as he could tell that it was not a normal woman. However, as the woman got up and approached him, he started to become very aroused. Anyone want to take a guess on what kind of alien it is? Who it is?
A mantis.
It's Crescent.
Oh, of course.
You know, the one that took a motherly figure to him, in a sense.
Oh. Space mommy. Anyway, I fucking hate
I hate everything that just came out of your mouth. Don't.
Space.
Shut. Shut.
Mommy. Now.
Shut.
It's kind of hot. Help me, step human. I'm stuck in my cybernetic washing machine.
So, Crescent told him to lie down. And David says, quote, "I could not get my pants down fast enough."
One question. What the fuck?
Him and Crescent obviously began to interact intimately.
By that, I mean, they were fucking.
So.
And in case you're wondering, yes, there is a painting of this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I will not be showing that on the podcast. You can look it up.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you think it looks like.
So.
Looks like a horrific alien fucking guy.
Yeah, so the two go at it, and as he lay there, he soon passed out. And he woke up 15-20 minutes later, no recollection to how he got there, and it's the why his pants and underwear are down around his ankles.
Congrats on the sex.
So, not wishing to delve too deeply into the matter, he proceeded to lift up his pants and underwear and continued off to the lake.
Hey, listen. Swimming's calling. All right?
David, once his memory came back, said, I figured if anything, I'd be losing it in the backseat of a Ford or something like that, but no, it didn't work out that way.
This is so real. So real, dude. The back of a Ford. That's so funny.
How are we feeling? How are you feeling?
I don't know. Not aroused.
You're not like David with Crescent right now?
No.
Okay.
Can't say that I'm super like, fuck yeah, about this story. But at the same time, I'm also like, what?
Yeah. So.
It's a lot.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, let me just.
Oh.
What?
Thank you for hitting me in the face.
It's my XLR. I'm trying to fix mics here, Tay. There's no Marty.
I know.
He's gone.
Marty.
He's dead to us.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll be seeing him 5 days a week, but he's dead to us.
You'll be seeing him. I won't. He's dead to me.
He's dead to me till he ain't.
He's dead to me except for 5 times a week for 8 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's
There's a lot going on.
question is why? I guess. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
I don't know. So David, after a while, could not take Georgia anymore. He just felt that there was nothing there, and he had a very strong desire to paint and draw. He had started painting in 1965 or 1966 and had discovered that he truly enjoyed working with oils, painting landscapes, still lifes, and portraits. And his family was far from accepting of his would-be profession, and on top of that, his home life was slowly crumbling around him. His parents were alcoholics and would fight like cats and dogs with each other. His father was seeing other women. His parents would take out their struggles on him and his siblings through the use of a switch or a belt. To David, this was hell and something much more real than when his grandparents would take him to tent revivals as a boy. So David ended up, upon his interest in art, heard about the Art Students League in New York City and desired to go. It was during this time that David heard a voice that said, "If you don't leave now, you'll never leave." David decided that he would do it at 19 and wrote a letter to his parents and left when they weren't there because he was certain that they would have stopped him. David's encounters did not stop when he moved from Georgia to New York City. They followed him. And in many ways, they became much more intense than what he experienced as a boy. David's 26th encounter occurred during the Great Transit Strike of 1965 to 1966, and during this time there were no buses or subways running. So David during this time was attending the Arts Student League and had gotten a job at a hardware store. It was a Saturday afternoon, and while he was organizing a shelf, he happened to notice a man and a woman enter the store. These people did not enter the store and look at any of the nails or tools, but instead stared intently at David, remaining next to the door. David, confused and slightly disturbed, obviously. This couple just came in and were like, hi. Don't even actually say anything. They just stare at you.
Classic. I don't know. I mean, I do that to people all the time, though, when I go to stores.
You stand by the front door and stare at them?
Yeah. I'll do to the people watching.
Okay.
I'll pretend the guys are in a store, and I'll just stand there. I'm standing there. I just go, there's nothing you can do to stop the tide. Or what's to come. Next frame.
So, he approached the individuals and was like, may I help you? The individuals did not respond and instead stared at David more intently. David could only repeat the same question he'd already asked them. David was getting very disturbed by their lack of behavior, but before he could speak again, the couple turned and left. So once David closed the store, a heavy rain fell over New York, and David realized due to the strike, it would be impossible to get a cab, take the bus, or ride the subway. So he decided he was going to walk. When David got to Fifth Avenue, he was desperate to find some way of escaping this deluge and decided, why don't I hitch a ride? So he waited a little bit with no luck until a big black car pulled to a stop near him. The car rolled its windows down, and David could see a woman sitting in the driver's seat and asked him, where are you going? And David replied, ma'am, if you can just take me across Central Park, I can walk the rest of the way home. The woman then told him to get in, and the two drove down the street. During his time in the car, the two rarely talked outside of commenting on the strike and the weather. However, David, during the ride, felt that there was someone else in the car, most notably the back seat, but he, for whatever reason, preferred not to look. It's fair. You know, I'm not looking in the back seat.
No, if the bandage man of Highway 101 taught me anything, it's that you don't look in the back seat of your car when you think that someone's back there, especially when you know that there's nobody back there. I'm sorry, was that a lot of words?
Yeah.
We're going to take a little detour. On the Oregon coast, Washington coast, there is a highway, I think it's Highway 101, which is the highway that runs along the beach. And I believe that's actually across California and Washington and Oregon. But apparently, if you're driving late at night, you're driving down that highway, and you look in your back seat, you'll see a man covered in bandages, bloody bandages in your back seat.
Huh.
Haunted legend. Anyway.
Interesting.
Don't fucking look.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just don't do it. David, stop.
So the woman drove David straight to his apartment, much to his surprise, and upon leaving, David thanked her and said, thank you very much for the ride, you saved me a wet walk. But the woman did not say anything but nodded, and as David looked into her eyes, he realized that her gaze had the same effect as the woman in the stores did.
Whoa.
That night, David had a dream of a woman's face in the darkness with her eyes closed. The face seemed as though it floated in midair, and he wondered if the woman in the store and the woman who gave him a ride were the same, and that this was their face. David, during this period, felt that it was a dream, but he knew it was real, even though he doesn't remember anything else during this time. The dreamlike visitations occurred over the course of a month, and each night the face seemed more and more real and less visionary. Soon as these dreams progressed, he was able to see more of the surroundings. After a while, these dreams became noticeably sexual in nature. And David began to call these nocturnal visitations sex dreams. However, he noted that they were much more physical and real than any other dream that he had previously experienced.
I wake up and my balls hurt.
During these sessions, it would be revealed that Crescent and him would continue their encounters. However, unlike in their first exchange, they were not alone. As in the corner, the insect-like being would always be watching the two.
So the Mantis is a cuck.
We got voyeurs.
The Mantis is a voyeur. He's just sitting in the corner and he's like, touches little Mantis like,
Yeah. Now bite his head off. Yeah.
Yeah.
great.
So when the morning would come, David.
After David, of course.
Yeah. David would have one last interaction with the beings, and that was that he would hear the phrase, "We'll be back tonight." David, once these words were spoken, however, would forget all about the experience and associate it all as dreams. This is not a dream. He thinks it is, but it's not. The Crescent, the insect man, come into his room at night.
And Leather Daddy Bill, who sits in the corner and chain smokes cigarettes that he also watches.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to have a third party here.
Dude,
or
no.
a fourth, rather.
He's going to have an audience? That's got to be tough.
So.
It's going to be tough to perform. It's like, oh, the same material again? You know? We saw this last time.
I know. On one night, during this time, the hairy guy came into his room and came over to David and asked, "David, can we use your body?" To which
No.
David said, "Yes, you can use it as much as you like."
No. What the fuck are you talking about? No. Absolutely not. No. The answer is no. Don't. No. The answer is no.
The answer is yes, use it as much as you like.
David, can we use your body?
The hairy guy seemed to be exceptionally happy by David's response. And as he got away from the bed, he disappeared. During this time, David did have a girlfriend named Ethel, but this would be exceptionally short-lived because of the beings. One night, Ethel woke up in her apartment and saw that surrounding her bed was a group of little men.
Oh, fuck. So it's not like... It's not like, you know, this is all just kind of happening. This is actually happening, then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the fuck. It's even worse.
No, like, it's not a dream. Like,
Yeah. No.
So at the end, they say, we'll be back again tonight.
And then wink,
and then
they blow him a kiss. Yeah.
He thinks, oh, it's a dream. He, like, the way that it happens is he then associates it as a dream instead of it actually happening.
No.
But no, like, this is really happening.
Okay, hold on. Time out real quick.
Got it.
What the fuck? But the main thing is, like, if it was just him telling the story, I'd be like, yeah, right, buddy, you were piping aliens this entire time. Yeah, right. But his girlfriend at the time fucking sees grays and shit around her bed, which means this shit is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Which also,
but this was in
nice.
This was in her apartment, not his.
I know.
So.
Quit taking all of David's.
I can't even do the voice without laughing.
The Mantis needs to watch him bust. And the hairy man likes to watch in the shadows.
So Ethel was so traumatized by this experience that she immediately ran out of her bedroom screaming for help. Her neighbors, hearing her cries, came to her aid, and upon walking into the apartment, began to check for any intruders, which they found none. This caused her to immediately pack up all of her belongings and move back to Canada without telling David.
Understandable.
She really said, "Nah, I'm good."
I think she was just looking for an excuse to leave. You know. David's always tapped out, never wants to have sex anymore.
Listen, I'm going to say that having aliens surround your bedroom, or your bed, is a pretty good fucking reason to leave.
Yeah, if they're able to get in your bedroom, they're probably able to get to Canada. Aliens probably don't need passports.
Yeah, probably. But the thing is, though, is that they were, I assume, coming in because they associated her with David.
Mm-hmm.
And so by her leaving and no longer being associated with David, they would leave her alone, I think is her thinking.
Sure.
She said, they're here for him. They're not here for me, so I'm fucking out of here.
David, listen, I've had a wonderful time here in New York City with you, but you're fucked. So I'm going to go back to Canada. Okay,
She
bud?
didn't even tell him. She just left.
Forget this happened.
We'll be back tonight.
Dude, we'll be back tonight. Wear something sexy. David's like, I have the same 5 pairs of boxers. Which one do I wear? He's putting on cologne and shit.
So
The Mantis is like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna run my mandibles together.
do you want to guess how long these dreamlike visitations lasted?
Dude, is he piping for a minute?
Take a guess. How long do you think these visitations with Crescent will go on?
3 hours.
Well, I just mean like how long?
Oh.
Like
I was like, I don't know if he's
like a span of time. Like
40 years?
So for at least 5 years,
Oh, okay.
David went through
Close.
these visitations with Crescent, and she would visit 2 or 3 times a week.
God damn.
Yeah. So
David. It's got a piece on him, huh?
there's a lot happening.
Now, David, if you're watching the podcast, are you cut or you're not? Hear me out.
So
Emails, HGOPodcast. Do you get that shit snipped or what? Anyway.
I think probably we should stop here because we're at about an hour and a half.
Okay.
We're gonna leave it
It's
at
getting hot, heavy.
just you wait.
Oh my God.
Not necessarily hot and heavy, but there's some shit that it's like, holy fuck. That when you think about the fact that he had 2 to 3 encounters a week for at least 5 years, there's a lot that happens.
That's hot.
There's a lot. There's
Already a lot.
There's more. Oh boy, there's more. Because I reread this story a little bit when I was on my way home because I just didn't remember any of it. And I read some stuff and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
You know, Tay, this podcast is really fun because we have this, we kind of initially, when we first started, we kind of did like, I would write a story and you'd kind of know a little bit about it and then we, be able to talk about it. Then over the years, we've kind of transitioned to like, you're going to have this story. I'm going to know next to nothing, vice versa. And, adds the shock factor, get the experience for the first time. This one is fucking weird. And you're weird.
You know absolutely nothing about this story other than what I've told you.
Yeah, other than this dude is piping an alien while a fucking mantis and a hairy dude watches.
Yeah, the Mantis is always there. The hairy dude, I don't know if he's always there.
It's the most cryptic shit ever. The mantis is always there.
He's always in the corner watching.
That's hot. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Haunts, Graves, and Omens. If you enjoyed, like, share, and subscribe, and get ready for part 2 next week. If you want to follow us, you can at HGOPodcast on Instagram and TikTok. I promise you that I'm going to actually cut TikToks this week. I'm actually going to cut them probably tomorrow or the next day. Probably the next day.
Tomorrow's going to be hard because we got some family stuff.
If you want to follow me on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, you can at IHauntTheHaunted. Go check it out. And I'm going to pass it off to Tay and our very, very tired puppy, Spirit.
She's so tired. She came to work with me. So.
Totally missed it, guys. You missed her birthday, but happy birthday, Spirit.
Happy belated birthday to the baby. Her birthday was the 1st. So she is officially a year old. She's a year old. It's crazy.
She's very tired.
She's so tired. She's like, I was sleeping this entire time. She's like, work was really hard and the mom gave me a bath. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Lunar Thrill. Those are the only ones I got. And then you can also follow Spirit at Spirit the Turv. If you would like to. She's extra EP on there too. So she's so tired. Her nose is dripping. She's so fucking tired. She's out of it.
It's awesome.
She's just tired.
She's immediately gonna fall asleep after this.
Yeah, no, she's gonna go lay in the bed and just zonk.
Yep.
Oh, good night.
Well, remember to stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And you think it's cut or uncut? Leave your guesses in the comments. I'm going to call him.
You have his number?
I'm going to get it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.